They say love can be dangerous, but for Travis Alexander, it was fatal. It began in September of 2006. Travis was living the kind of life that made people take notice. A 30-year-old motivational speaker and salesman, ambitious to the bone, devout in his Mormon faith. He had dreams so big they seemed to spill out of him when he spoke. His friends described him as magnetic. His smile? The kind that made strangers trust him instantly. And that smile is what drew her in. Her name was Jodi Arias. She was 26, an aspiring photographer, with striking blonde hair and eyes that seemed to study you, not just look at you, but study you. She was quick with a laugh, charming, and unafraid to make the first move. They met at a work conference in Las Vegas. Two worlds colliding, his structured, faith-driven discipline and her free-spirited, impulsive energy. Within hours, the two were locked into conversation. They laughed, shared secrets, leaned close like they'd known each other for years. That night, they became inseparable. To friends, it looked like a perfect match. But perfect is just a surface. Beneath it, there were cracks. Jodi was intense. From the beginning, she wanted all of Travis, his time, his attention, his loyalty. She asked personal questions most people wouldn't dare on a first meeting. She texted constantly. She made herself available at any hour. She studied his habits, the way some people study an opponent before a game, except this wasn't a game. And then, just weeks after meeting him, she converted to his faith. It felt like devotion, but devotion can be a mask. Their romance burned hot, passionate, yes, but volatile. They broke up, then reconciled. Again and again, Travis would try to put space between them, but Jodi never stayed gone. She was persistent, always finding her way back into his life. When Travis began dating other women, her presence only intensified. She called, she texted, she appeared unannounced. Friends caught her peeking through his windows, sneaking into his home through the dog door, eavesdropping on his private conversations. One woman he dated found her tires slashed. Twice. For Travis, it was unsettling. But for reasons he couldn't explain, maybe guilt, maybe attraction, maybe fear, he couldn't sever the tie completely. Jodi could be intoxicating. She knew exactly when to cry, when to smile, when to use her beauty as a rope to pull him back in. She could turn an argument into intimacy in a heartbeat. By early 2008, Travis wanted out. He was planning a trip to Cancun, and Jodi wasn't invited. He confided to friends that she was dangerous. He even called her a fatal attraction. But despite the warnings he gave others, he still answered her calls, still replied to her messages, still opened the door when she came knocking. On June 4th, 2008, she came knocking again. We may never know exactly what happened in the hours that followed, but we do know how it ended. Travis's friend became worried when he missed important events and didn't return calls. On June 9th, they went to his home in Mesa, Arizona. What they found still haunts them. The air inside was heavy, humid, like a room that had been sealed too long. There was blood, a trail leading from the hallway to the master bathroom. And there, in the shower, was Travis Alexander. His body was slumped, his skin pale. He had been stabbed 27 times. His throat was cut from A to A, so deep it nearly severed his head, and a single bullet wound marked his forehead. It wasn't just a killing. It was overkill. Rage, intimate, personal, almost theatrical in its violence. The investigation quickly pointed to Jodi. Friends told police about her obsessive behavior, her sudden, unexplained appearances, her anger at his other relationships. When police questioned her, she was calm, too calm. She denied being there at all. Then, she changed her story. She claimed masked intruders had broken in and killed Travis. And then, she changed it again. This time, she said it was self-defense. She painted Travis as abusive, controlling, dangerous. She claimed she had no choice. But the evidence told a story she couldn't twist. In a damaged camera, police found photographs, photos that survived water and damage. They showed Travis, alive, in the shower minutes before his death. The final images, time-stamped, captured his last moments. They also placed Jodi inside the home at the time of the murder. In one chilling shot, you can see the shower door open. In the next, the camera angle drops, blurry. Moments later, darkness. By 2013, the trial began, and the world couldn't look away. In the courtroom, Jodi had transformed. Gone was the glamorous blonde. She appeared in modest clothing, with dark, toned-down hair, speaking softly, head bowed. She told the jury about abuse, about fear, about survival. Her voice trembled at just the right moments. But prosecutors dismantled her performance piece by piece. They brought out the photos, the friends' testimonies, the stalker-like behavior, the tire slashings, the obsessive phone calls. They painted her as a manipulator, a woman who would rather destroy than be rejected. The trial stretched on for months, broadcast across the country. Viewers saw a woman capable of switching masks. Sweet victim one moment, sharp and defiant the next. In the end, the jury saw through her. They convicted her of first-degree murder. She escaped the death penalty, but the sentence was life in prison without the possibility of parole. To this day, Jodi Arias insists she's a real victim. She gives interviews from behind bars, smiling softly, insisting her story is the truth. But for those who knew Travis Alexander, the truth is clear. He was a man full of hope, with a future bright enough to blind. And in the end, he was trapped in the gravity of someone who saw love not as a gift, but as possession. A storm of obsession that began with a smile and ended in horror, because sometimes the person who claims to love you the most is the one already imagining how to end you.